Optimal Nathan, good to have you back today, my man. How are you doing? I'm actually doing all right today. I just got back from the gym myself, but my back is bugging me. It's because I
Was it
did
back day?
no, I did hip hinges last week on a new piece of equipment, and I went pretty heavy. It actually felt really good and everything, but yeah, now my back's just been bugging me. It just gets really like when my hips get tight, my lower back gets sore, and then it's just been a nuisance. And I've been rolling it out for like the past few days, and like really deep rolling it with lacrosse balls and stretching, and just kind of feels like it's a little tight,
Yeah.
and it's still tight and still pretty sore. I was just doing some stretches before we got on here, but I booked an appointment with my good friend on Wednesday to get some like deep tissue and get it resolved. It happens to me every time I hip hinge. Like
Really?
I'm a really strong hip hinger, can pull heavy off the ground, but I got like a porcelain lower back.
What are you doing, like, for RDLs weight-wise?
Well, that was 5 plates.
5 plates? So
Yeah, I
that's
did
like
like I'll usually
475? Or
sorry.
how much is that? 475? No,
Yeah, my like it was on a
no.
machine, mind you. It was like in one of those RDL machines.
But that goes on, like, one side?
No, it was it's still like standing. It's just like an Atlantis one, right? You can do like
Okay.
split squats on there
I
and
use the glute
RDLs.
builder, like, as an RDL, like, but I just do it on the ground. I don't stand on top of the machine. I just, like, put the plates on the side.
Yeah, usually like I'll do them on the belt squat because I like how
Yeah.
that feels. It's nice and you
Yeah.
can go really deep. I don't really use barbells much for hip
No,
hinges.
fuck that.
Usually I'll use like if I'll do anything like a free weight, I'll use dumbbells.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it felt really good. And now when I train, like I typically like for most things, I just do like warm-up sets of 12 until I get to my working weight. So I don't really try and like I know some people are like, don't waste the volume doing warm-ups and stuff. And I used to be that way, but now I like doing like 12 reps throughout the warm-ups on the way to the working set because they get a good blood flow, get a good warm-up, it pre-fatigues the muscle, and then I don't have to necessarily go as heavy on the working set, but I still get a good stimulus from the working set. So that's kind of how I run my training. But when my lower back's tight, it's like it's fucking miserable.
Yeah, no, I know that. I had my, I had 5 herniated discs that I corrected, but, like, fuck, that like, a few weeks ago, I just felt them, like, all of them, the same ones, just, like, tender to the touch. And I was like, "Oh, fuck no, man. I can't be fucking with this, right now. No, absolutely the fuck not." But I also I'm the same way, like, if I do so I normally just do 1 set of RDLs. I'll do everything else just leg curls. Because if I do a second set, the pump that I'm gonna have in my lower back sometimes is so much that I can't do any of the remaining of my training. So the last time that I did 2 sets, I had to rest for like almost 30 minutes. And at that point, it's like, man, I'm fucking cold. I need to warm up again. I need to fucking walk on the treadmill again. I need to like, so it's just not worth it for me. But I feel like my erectors are not as strong as they should be. So, but at the same time, when I'm looking at my physique, like the middle of my back has no definition. So it's like I'm just gonna spend my time on that because it's a bigger flaw than the
Hmm.
erector. So I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people like lose shows because of erectors.
Yeah, I mean, you can train them lots of ways. Like I I'm very cautious on like RDL movements because I do have like a lower back that is susceptible to injury. So that's definitely something I'm very cautious of. But even doing like just a hyperextensions type of exercise for the lower back, adding weight to that. Like you said, the glute builder has that machine. You can kind of do that on there. I typically opt for that, but this week I was just like, I kind of was just feeling good. And then I did it the week before. It wasn't an issue. Did 4 plates. So this week I was like, you know what, I'll do 5. And it wasn't an issue. It was just, I think all the little like stability muscles got super tight, maybe stretched out. And they're like, kind of like, fuck you. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
great.
I do. So the way that I think about RDLs is I think about doing RDLs for longevity purposes, and I'm getting like just a little bit of bodybuilding in there. So I believe that we should be able to hip hinge, and I think it's a very important movement for just daily function. So since I already
Oh,
have
yeah.
like squatting patterns and all of the other patterns, like I feel like even with my back training, I don't just row and pull from, one plane. I also do like pullovers and like I want to hit it from every possible angle for
Yeah.
longevity purposes. So that's a
Yeah. Trust me, I've spent many, many hours with therapists, physiotherapists, everyone. I've seen hundreds of therapists on the lower mainland here in BC, and like
yeah.
bodybuilding is the worst thing you can do for training. Like it is not it's not like mobility. Like you move in two planes, right? Up and down, backwards and forwards, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not doing any side movements, no lateral movements, you're not twisting anything
I
like
do. I
that.
do all of that shit. So when I move into
Yeah,
a
and then
health phase,
every time you go to physio, they're like, "You need to start doing this stuff
yeah,
because your
yeah.
body's gonna get restrictive, and that's why you keep getting injured."
Dude, for real. So here's what I do because in my health phases, I actually talk about like paying off the physiological debt that's accumulating, and I believe the physical component is a part of it. I just don't talk a lot about it because people don't really care about training as much. Like training is a big, big fucking passion of mine. It's like I don't enjoy talking about drugs that much. I'm kind of tired of talking about peptides. But back to the subject. What was I saying?
You're talking about training,
Yes, training for
longevity, mobility, like, actually.
yes. Okay. So here's what I did because I was doing competitive shooting more often and I didn't want to lose. I already noticed that when I gained 50 pounds, dude, I lost a lot of mobility and moving on a stage was very difficult, especially doing like fast transitions. And now it's a lot more mass to be stopped abruptly. So my knees and my hips, my groin, like everything. And I was like, okay, fuck this. I need to actually train these things together because otherwise I'm going to pull a muscle by doing a hobby. And I don't want to have to stop my hobby because of bodybuilding. That's what idiots do. So I don't want to do that. So I in my health phase, I deal with like the mitochondrial debt, the detox debt, and all of this stuff and the physical component of it as well. So I'll do like Palloff presses. I'll do like side bend. So I get every function of the spine. I'm training every single one of them. I do abs. I do extensions for my legs. I'll do like weird plane of movements and I'll do a lot of like single leg stuff, like things that are not very great for hypertrophy, like lunges, but cardiovascular capacity is huge. I already do hit sessions after every workout, no matter what the workout is. But I think that's a good strategy to have because at least like in the between phase, so you don't focus a lot of that like the volume that you need for growth for the body parts that you're going to grow and you're going to focus on, you really need that volume. Like if you try to accumulate a bunch of volume through doing ab shit, like and lumbar stuff, like come on, like that's a waste, right? It's a waste of gear. So let's not do that, but let's do that on the health phase when we are not going to be like super strong. It's going to catch up more with where those tissues are actually at. And then let's train there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. It's just like get caught in these patterns, and then usually I'll do it for a bit. Usually that's when I pick up a nick or an injury, and then I'll get back into like prehab, rehab work, mobility work, dynamic movements. And then I'll do it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It'll feel good, and then I'll just kind of fall off on it and just train. And then usually I'll pick it back up as soon as I pick up another nick or injury again. That's usually how it goes. Massage therapy, physio, they're like, "Do you stretch? Do you do this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." "Yeah, I know, but you could be doing it more." I know. This is what
Yeah.
I'm sure most people are this way,
Do
right?
you do you train to failure?
But yeah.
Okay. But do you go to like technical failure or do you go to like all out?
No, technical failure.
Okay, so like on a chest press, right? Like you're pressing up and you notice that like, okay, I can do the next rep if I just put a little bit of triceps or a little bit of shoulders into it and just like, like you don't go
No,
for that.
I mean, even from like the very, I mean, I'm pretty experienced training now. I mean, I've gotten like I've gotten strong in a lot of movements, and now I've kind of back off and I just focus on, yeah, training with the actual muscle. Like I can
Okay.
recruit the muscle
Yeah.
from the first rep. And as soon as I feel it like dying off, there's no more gas there. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'll go for like maybe I'll
A
go
half
for,
rep. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cause I,
But I
I
won't
train.
blast through and crank like my traps and my
Yeah. Yeah.
front
Yeah.
delt. And like that's how you pick up really bad. Mhm.
That's why I was like, "Man, I wonder how you're training," like, because if you're doing this same thing, I'm like, "Fuck, do you think you need less volume?"
Yeah, I have fun with training, like I said, like, my coach, he's a great coach, I do work with a coach, mind you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, like, he prescribes volume, like, do as many warm-up sets as necessary, but yeah, he's under, the impression where I understand, like, that pyramiding into a warm up into your working sets, like lowering the rep ranges as you warm up closer to your working set. You're not banging out like 12 reps at
Yeah,
just
yeah.
before your working set. But like I said, I like to do that because I don't like pushing crazy heavy weight. I don't find it necessary. I don't want to pick up nicks. I do not want to get injured. So this is a way I kind of mitigate like some tendon inflammation and things along those lines. But like, I'll be honest, the back injury, the hip tightness, and just like being a little sore today is because I sit down and I work for, really long hours, probably even
Yeah,
longer when I was working my previous job. And I mean, I'm like up right in the morning, up to the office, working all day, rushing out to training, and like I'm just tight and stiff, and then going and pulling 400 to 500 pounds, whatever it is on that machine. I'm not exactly sure, but um, that's a heavy load on a tight body already, right? So that's my fault for negating that as being something that needed to be done, and like procrastinating, and now it's caught up to me, right? Kinda like you were chatting before, you've worked so much lately, not feeling the
yeah,
greatest now. I mean, it's the
yeah,
same thing. I just, like, let work get ahead of me, and I did used to have a routine, like, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd, like, ride my bike every morning.
yeah,
Right after I got off the bike, I would do some yoga, do some
yeah,
bodybuilding yoga, some stretching as much as I could for, like, 15 minutes, do some breath work, do some journaling, make breakfast, go have a shower. Now it's, like, ride the bike, eat some food, go shower quick, get to work, you know?
yeah. That's nice. It's nice. I used to do a lot of that stuff too. Now it's like I have to go train first thing in the morning. Otherwise, I won't train because I'm just gonna keep working. So
Yeah.
I even like, yeah, I stopped working from my phone. Like I'm not doing a lot of stuff on my phone anymore because holy shit, man. It's impossible to stop, you know?
I know. I've had,
Yeah.
like, a plethora of reach on my page, I guess you could call it
Yeah,
lately, and
man, you've been doing
people
great.
expect,
Fuck,
like
dude.
people
That's awesome.
expect, like people are like ChatGPT, treat you like ChatGPT sometimes.
Yeah, I
Mind you,
know.
a lot of people I will say this, mind you, a lot of people are very respectful and very polite, but some people are just like, they expect you to answer. They're like you're a Google search engine or something. They just drop in questions, they don't even say hello, just, "What is
Yep.
the protocol for this?"
Yep.
Bro, go ask
Huh?
ChatGPT, I don't know.
Yep. You're
Like,
like,
why you come at me like that?
do you also go to the dentist and is like, "Hey, what's wrong with my tooth here? Like, just tell me the solution. What should I do?"
Like, calm down, sit down, stay a while,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so that's just how it is with training. Sometimes, like, I go through phases. There's always good phases, there's highs and lows, just like everything. I think right now for me, I just probably uh it's really hard for me to say to take tomorrow as a rest day, but it is a back day. But I probably shouldn't put that extra tension in my lats and stuff and just create more tension in lower back. Take an extra rest day, stretch tomorrow, stretch Wednesday, go get some massage, feel a little bit better Thursday, get
I
back to
like that.
training Thursday or Friday, right?
That's
So
good. That's good. I like the sound of that.
I know what it is. It's my lower back, like, it gets the muscles get tight, right? All through my
Yeah, dude,
lower
my
back.
wife had the same thing.
And then once I release, like, once I get whatever it is, that one specific muscle to release, I sit down on the floor and I drop my knees to each side, and like I'll feel my lower back, like all the spine either pop or you can feel them start moving, right? As I'm doing that right now, it's just locked in my hips and the muscles just super tight. But once I start doing that, it'll just release and it'll just like reset and it'll be money.
Crazy. That's
But it's
crazy.
just
Yeah,
getting it.
my wife has that stuff, but she has rods. So she has like titanium rods on her back
Oh,
from her lumbar all the way to the neck, to the top of the neck here. So, because she had scoliosis really bad, and these motherfuckers didn't like have someone who could actually work with them and reverse it at the time. and surgery was the only route, right? So her brother has it as well, but now he has someone that is working with them, like actually helping with stuff. But she will have pain on the places where they reconnected the muscles because they need to like remove the muscles, right? They need to like put things out to then be able to like put things back on. So she feels this pain just radiating from like back here all the way down, and it's like no one can do it unless you just like fucking release this one like muscle, and it's like she's brand new. It's like what
Does
the
she ever
fuck?
go get needling done? That might help,
Yeah.
because that's what I'll do sometimes. Like I've had, for instance, this is a good example of how powerful needling is. I'm like really extreme about my lacrosse ball rolling out.
Huh?
Like when I go to the massage therapist, like you roll out, I'm like, yeah, I spend 5 hours on the lacrosse ball on the weekend, like literally just lying on it forever because I'm just like, I'm
What the
persistent.
fuck?
I'm getting this thing out, right? I have this knot in my upper back in my trap area. I'm trying to roll it out for days and days. Can't get it out. Literally spent 5 hours on it. And I go in to see a physiotherapist. They just do IMS, intramuscular stimulation. So they just like stick the needle in and just like prod it around. He just stuck it in there. Took him 2 minutes because it got so deep. Just release the muscle. Done. 2 minutes.
Crazy.
Right? They just like pop it through, just like twang a little bit. You can feel the muscle like jump, and then like that little reaction like wakes it up. And I'm not exactly sure, I'm not a physio, but releases the muscle, just relaxes it, gets the blood flow in there again. And it's,
Wild. That's crazy.
yeah, it's really good. But yeah, my training is like built around like getting old, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 33, but I have like picked up a lot of Nick's training. I've never actually had my back scanned because I know for sure there's like herniations or some bulging discs and stuff. I just like would rather
Dude,
not know.
herniated discs, you don't even have to like get the scans there because a lot of times you can have it, but it won't show. Why? Because the disc only bulges when you are in certain positions, and the scan is done with you in a neutral position. So unless it is like fucked up in the neutral position, it won't catch it. So because I spent the fuck ton of money on scans on this stuff, only to learn that no, a herniated disc is actually a clinical diagnosis. And I was like, fuck.
Right. Yeah. Like whether I have degenerative disc, herniated, bulging,
Yeah.
I know there's issues in my lower back, but I think knowing all of it will probably likely make it worse. So I'd rather just not.
Yeah. Yeah, I changed my training a little bit. I mean, by changing it, I mean I kept the split the same and I kept 99% of the exercises the same, but I reduced a little bit of my training volume. On my last like I haven't we were talking about like going through a lull. Like, dude, I haven't felt like training. I haven't felt motivated to train. I haven't felt excited to train. I haven't felt good about training for like a year now. And that's really bad. But I've been consistent with it. So I don't know if I burned myself out with it, but I just thought like, hey, dude, I just an hour and a half at the gym is kind of my limit, bro. I can't do these 2 hour sessions anymore. So I just lowered it a little bit. Let's see if I still respond better because I did respond better to higher volume. That's the problem. The problem is I responded so much fucking better to higher volume. Like I had so much better progress in less time with less gear that I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to maintain the high volume. So I'm keeping at 98 sets a week, I think, which is about 20, like 18, 20 sets, 22 sets, depending on like the workout. This is counting my sets of hit as well. I do 2 sets of hit at the end, but it's like, that's not so much. I'm curious to see if I'm still gonna get good growth out of it. I'm pushing my growth with different strategies. Yeah, with the training, I am kinda looking forward to having not so long training sessions, even though I'm in a cut right now. So I know that I'm already fatigued, but my training volume is lower and I'm not looking forward to raise it at all. So I might just keep it at this training volume until I stop feeling fucking burnt out, you know? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like this over complexity in programming. And I think realistically, you need to find what works for an individual basis.
Right, right, right.
Right? Like we're talking if we're talking intensity, I think that's different than RPE, you know? Like intensity in my eyes is not like you train to the 10th or the final rep of your given rep range and it was an excruciatingly hard rep to get, right? I think just like intensity means from first rep, you breed intensity in the set. You're training hard, you're locked in, you're working with, a stimulus that is challenging
I call
the
that
muscle.
intentionality.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. And RPE, well,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
just
mean,
how
that's
hard you're
that's a
fucking
good
going.
way to, perceive like how hard you should be
Yeah.
training, but realistically, any training plan will work, whether that's high volume or low volume. What it comes down to is high intensity. And realistically, low volume is still, in a sense, you're still doing warm-up sets, like, you're still doing 2 working sets, like, the volume's still there, maybe you're not doing the full rep ranges for the 4 sets or whatever, but
Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean? Just like
I'm
you
doing
should just be training hard regardless of how you train. I don't really think it's a big deal, and yeah, pulling some like, say you're getting weaker 1 week, maybe the volume is a little too high, on your bench press or
yeah, so that
what
was one
have it.
thing that I noticed. It was very hard to progress with my weight, like, at the gym. Physically, I grew so much more. But, like, my volume is not super high, right? So for chest, it's my focus, I'm doing 14 sets. For back, I'm doing 13 sets. For shoulders, side delts, I'm doing, 13 sets. For abs, I'm doing 9 sets. For legs, like both quads and hamstrings, I'm doing, 10 sets each. And then everything else, it's like 2 to 4 sets, like calves, it's 4 sets a week, shit like that. But it's not
Yeah.
super high, like, and like legs at 10 sets is pretty moderate, But then I run twice a week. I run I'm getting to working up to 1 hour twice a week. So that's a lot of volume as well.
Yeah. I mean, like when we're talking progressive overload too, right? Like having to add weight to,
Mhm.
see an effective stimulus of growth. Well, I mean, we are going to see weeks where we progress and inevitably we're going to see weeks that we're completely stagnant or maybe even regress slightly, but there's a lot of
Dude,
variables that are a part of that process, right? Like everything down to your metabolic baseline, to nutrition, to stress, everything. Like a lot of things are in a factor, even just your mental state for that day. Like how on are you to train? I mean, progressing, a 315 press to like a 405 press, that's a big number. That's 90 pounds. That's a lot of weight to be moving, to be doing that on a Smith or what have it. That's going to take some mental stimulus of being turned on and ready to move that 405 pounds over your chest, right?
mm,
Realistically, I don't get too caught up in that because, I do get stronger. I am getting stronger over time. Do I get stronger session to session? No, not most of the time, but I think reps are improving, controls improving. Like I used to RDL 405, 5, 6 years ago. I still just RDL 405 most of the time, but the reps have got, you know, marginally better in those years. The control, being able to hold it, being able to
yeah,
contract through the muscles I want to actually move the load through, not just completely recklessly moving the weight, just trying to get it from point A to point B. So, I think all it comes down to is how turned on you are in the gym, like switched on, and like how ready you are to perform and bring that intensity, whether you're with a partner or without. Like I like training, I like putting on, some metal and just like flicking that switch and just like gripping the bar and ready to rip.
yeah.
Like full intensity from my hands all the way to the muscle that's being recruited. That's what I think intensity is. Like you can be sweating on your first set if you have that intensity, right?
Yeah, it's
A lot
wild.
of
I hate
people
training
just
like
go
that.
through the movement and go through the whole session. They're just barely even looks like they're in the gym.
Yeah, it's very hard to to develop that mind muscle connection, that like connection with your muscle to actually be able to like stimulate it. Cause I'm like with a lot of exercises and a lot of body parts, the weight is almost irrelevant. Like I could do a row on this strive machine with like 300 pounds, or I could do it with like 170 and I'm getting the same pump. Like I'm getting ridiculous contractions. And I'll like if I'm doing just like trying to focus really much with like letting my arms do none of the work, just focus on the back. Like, dude, I feel like one is very mentally taxing, right? Because you have to be locked the fuck in the entire time. And if your mind drifts for just 1 second, like you're out of the rep. And
Mhm.
maybe that means like you were like, you had 4 more reps in the tank, right? So it's kind of risky, It's something that you have to be really, really locked in. And I find it to be like so fatiguing, like especially with like the business side of things. Like, man, I'm pouring like so much into here and I don't have the capacity to do it here as well. And I'm getting to this point where I'm like, bro, I need to figure out a way to make this work. I legitimately feel like I have like no how can I say this? I don't know how to say this, but it's like I train because it's the job. So it's the work that I told myself that I'm going to do this for 10 to 15 years. So like it's just what I'm doing for the next 10 to 15 years, It's not like I have a choice. It's time to start my next growth phase. I'm not waiting until I feel 100%. I don't know
No, well,
when
you're
that's
never
going to
gonna
be.
feel 100%,
I'm
right?
never going to
Like,
feel
you just
100%.
yeah,
So,
you take it when it's there.
yep, exactly. Once it arrives at in the mailbox, that's when I take it.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's funny because 'cause I'm wearing JP's shirt. That's what got me into bodybuilding, Jordan Peters, but he's got a lot
Nice.
of good sayings, like progress at all costs, like tick the boxes, take it when it's there, Like some days you're gonna have that strength. Some days you might just want to rip it in the gym. Maybe some days you're like, oh yeah,
Man.
I can pull 6 plates off the ground. If it's there that day, take it. Don't just be like, oh well, I did
Yeah.
405 yesterday, so I'm only gonna go to 25 today. Like if you feel like you can rip 500 pounds and the weight's moving, like take it when it's there. And that's the thing with training, like there's going to be good weeks and you're going to have bad weeks. I mean, that's human nature. We're not robots. We are not machines. It doesn't matter how clean you write the plan. It doesn't matter how good your coach is. Everybody's going to have their good weeks and their bad weeks, even the best athletes in the world, right? So I think the bottom line is you just show up. Like I didn't feel the hottest this week, but I could have skipped my leg day. I still went in and trained some legs. I didn't do any
Yeah.
squatting or anything, but I still
Dude, I
hit
did
some
not
like,
wanna train legs, but I fucking did it. I'm sore. I fucking did
yeah,
it.
exactly. You just got to show up. Like I didn't wanna train legs because my back was sore, like, I didn't wanna go in and squat and hurt it more, so
Yeah.
but I really wanted to train legs, so I went and trained legs, I just hit quads really hard, like, on the leg extension, did some leg press that was kosher for my lower back, and just got, like, a really good workout in, but it wasn't, like, what my normal intensity would be for a leg day, but still showed up, still did the work. At the bottom line, there's going to be days where, like you said, it's your job. Even if you are just like a hobby bodybuilder, you should treat it like your day job. It's something you love. And if you are on the enhanced side of things, I mean, I don't really think, you're playing that extra card. So like it's time to play the game. It's not like, oh, I'm not feeling good today, I'm just gonna sit on the couch. It's like, nah, you actually made the choice to do this, so you're gonna get up and train, right? So those days you just go train, you hit your normal reps, you hit your ranges. Like today, didn't have the greatest chest day, not the best pressing day. I just hit my reps, had a decent session, nothing like crazy, didn't hit any PRs, nothing to like rant and rave home about. Definitely not excited about it, but still showed up, did the work, put some stimulus in the muscle, move some nutrients around, burn some calories, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, what I told my wife one time was, like, just you just gotta check the box, Like, just check the box, train, and when you train like you mean it, It's the time that you have to train. Plus, like, I've been trying to have this other outlook to it. I've been trying to think like, "Man, like, I spend so much time just sitting down. This is the only time that I have to, like, release some fucking energy."
Mhm.
So I need to take advantage of this and actually use it. So I go really hard on my cardio. I push my reps a lot and weights moved up. Every now and then you have these weird sessions where it's like one exercise will randomly go up. So like say I'm doing lats, right? I do a pull down and I did less reps than last week. And then I move to a row, lat focus row, and I do significantly better than I did last week. How the fuck did I do worse on the same muscle before and then I do better now? And then like sometimes it's the opposite where it's like I can bury myself here but then I don't have enough juice for here, or it's like 3 exercises just like all regress. but then the other ones progress. But it's like the same target muscle. There's so many fucking like I used to go crazy about this, but now I'm like, oh no, there's just so many fucking variables to this. When you look at the studies of athletic performance, their performance markers actually vary about 20%, regardless of anything. So like their sleep scores were relatively the same. Their like subjective metrics were relatively the same. No change in diet, no change in training program or anything like that. Just randomly 20%. You got to count with 20%. 20% is massive. Like a 20% reduction in weight in the weight room, that would make the regular person go like, "What the fuck is going on, man? Am I getting sick or something?" But no, these things happen. They happen. It's part of the journey, you know. But like you said, you go in, you stimulate the muscle, you shift some nutrients around, you do the work, and that's it. It doesn't got to be the last training session of your life, you know. Not every session has got to be amazing. It's you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, training is just like fucking, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's how it should be.
Not every
Like you
single one of it is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and you gotta have fun with it, right? Like, just go
Yeah,
in and just
exactly.
do what you can. Like, you gotta remember, you gotta have fun with it. Like, fucking just enjoy yourself, you know?
Are we talking about sex or are we talking about training?
Well, both, you know? Like, you gotta make the best of it sometimes, you know?
Sure.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so things have but that's kinda how things are going around here.
Yeah,
Not bad, though. I actually had a really busy morning, talked to a bunch of people.
nice.
Yeah, so it's been good. Beautiful weather here. It's crazy for Vancouver right now. It's like 20, it was 20 degrees yesterday, which is wild for Canada. It's like, well, it's snowing in Alberta, but snowing in Saskatchewan, but it's nice in Vancouver. We're lucky here. But that's why we pay the crazy overpriced everything.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been working hard on my shit. I kinda wanna focus a lot on the podcast side of things.
Yeah, you had some great guests on your podcast. Eh? Congrats on that. That's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been working hard on that, so but I'm still dealing with no getting low views, but fuck it. I'm just gonna keep grinding at it and bringing better guests no matter what, and keep making it fucking happen. You know, so I talk to a bunch of people every week, and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start doing like more videos a week on YouTube. So, but that takes a lot of energy, and right now I feel like I'm getting close to getting like burnout, so I need to chill and control myself because
Yeah,
like I'm at a point where the only way that I can do work is pharmacologically if you know what I mean. Like, I
yeah.
can't I you know, like, I can't just sit in front of the computer and just do
That's
work.
why I got extremely sick for 2 weeks, like extremely
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
it
I was
happens. It has happened with me before. Yeah, with me, I'll crash. I'll crash and then I'll have to go like I get sensitivity to light, I get sensitivity to sound, like because I'm autistic, like all of these things come really, really strong. And then I'll either have like a meltdown, which I'm on medication, so that doesn't happen. So I'll usually just default to like I need complete silence. I need to just stay in bed all day. Like my parents were scared because it was like he hasn't left the room in like 30 hours. And Aubrey was like, you know, because I was in Brazil and Aubrey was talking to them and she was like, no, this is completely normal. Please do not go in there. Like, he's totally fine. This is completely normal. This happens. But that's what happens when I
yeah,
crashed. I crashed after surgery as well because it was just so many procedures and complications that I had to go through that just like, it was so much medication and shit that just, oh man, I didn't respond well to any of it at all. But anyways,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I've been like having a lot of inquiries about mold and things like that, Lyme and stuff. And one of the things like I noticed seemingly is a lot of people have been dealing with these a vast majority of these people have been dealing with these issues for a long time, like 10, 20 years. But it's like the overwhelming stress of just like trying to figure it out is like causing them an even worse burden or working with people who give such advanced protocols that
They can't follow it.
it's so overwhelming and then
Yeah.
mind you it's like all at once,
Yeah.
everything at once, all at once.
Yeah.
And it's like overwhelming because they're not seeing results and it's overwhelming because it's like a burden, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a mental burden.
Yeah. No,
Like I
for a
spoke
lot of
with
people,
somebody
going
to
through phases is the key.
yeah, I spoke with someone today who had a let's extreme mold case, you know, going on decades. And one of the best times she's had like improvements was when she went away to a tropical island for 4 months, you know? I was like, "Well, I think that says a lot." That factor alone, like, here you're so worried about everything. You're seeing all these specialists, everything, inquiring, blah, blah, blah. But, like, when you're on this tropical island, like, you're on this, like, island vibe time, you know? Everything is, like an hour is a 24-hour time frame. Like, when someone says they're gonna be in there in an hour, it's like, "We'll be there today," you know? So it's, like, no stress, right? But I think that's a big cofactor as well. Like, the mind's a very powerful thing. Like, it can keep you trapped, right? Like, sure, we do have, autoimmune dysfunction and things like this, but if we, like, overpower everything, like, we can overpower our mind to the point where we just, like, we're not making progress, right? Too much going on. We're not tracking wins. All we see is fails. Mind you, everything is just, like, the list is crazy. Everything's just it's just too much. Most people can't handle it, right? Mind you, they feel like absolute trash. Like, I couldn't imagine, you know?
Yeah, dude, I had a professor who was very, very high output, like publishing a lot, and every day he was in school by 4 a.m., just answering emails until 7 a.m. That's all that he did. That's how many emails that motherfucker got, just life before AI. And then, like, after that, he would write, teach, and go to the meetings because he was part of like the actual school board. Um, Dude, impressive, amazing. But he used to joke a lot about like, "Hey, this book, you can only read it if you are like pharmaceutically blessed," or like something like that. A few years later, like he actually had to go to rehab because of like not because of addiction, because of like actual crashing, like just got in complete fucking dysfunction, just lost the thread entirely. That
Mhm.
shit happens, bro. Just like living with an engine running at 100 miles per hour all day long. That shit is not good at all. So I've been focusing a lot on trying to do like box breathing, like mindfulness exercises and stuff like that, and spend more time with my dog, and also go to sleep earlier because if I'm gonna be waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every day, then I have to go to bed super fucking early. So since I'm tired around 7:38, might as well just go to sleep anyways.
Yeah.
Because I did
Yeah, I
take
think
I did take Epitalon and the SIP both like help reset your circadian rhythm a little bit. So it could be that it just shifted, and that might be just my natural, you know, time. Cause yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, well, where do you live again, sorry?
In North Carolina.
Is it, like, what is the weather like there? Pretty sunny then?
Yeah, we go through all 4 seasons actually. We get very hot
Yeah.
summers and we get snow.
Yeah, so it'll be nice going into the spring, summer months, right? Like,
Yeah,
especially here, it's
but we
it's,
have allergies, like
yeah, I
pollen.
mean, yeah, I have really bad allergies too, really, really, really bad, like,
Yeah,
pollen and allergies
certain
and
out
things
my
like that,
ass.
but, it'll be nice to, yeah, like, I'm gonna bring my, like, laptop to the park and just hotspot and just, like, work in the park and stuff because my office doesn't get any sunlight.
Yeah,
So that's
I mean, as you
not
can
great
see.
either. Like, when I go in the sun now, I can't even see, Like, my eyes need to climatize to the sunlight again, but having
Yeah,
that daylight, I feel like helps a lot too, help lower stress, working in a dark office all day. I'm gonna move as soon as I can. When I move, I'm like, that's my primary factor in mind. Like, my office needs to have sunlight.
yeah, yeah, I would like that too. As you
A
can see, my office is
southeast
pretty dark,
facing would be ideal. So, like, southeast, you get the morning sunlight, and then you don't get, like, the afternoon really hot
right?
sunlight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'd be a
What is that,
vibe.
southeast?
Southeast, yeah,
Okay.
because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? It's the same there, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It's Oriens and Occidents. It's the Latin word that Occident and, Orient come from, and that's the idea. It means east and west.
Do you think there's actually people going to the moon right now,
Yeah, dog, of course, they need to.
right? I don't know, I
If
saw
they
this
w
conspiracy.
if they weren't going towards the moon, they wouldn't be able to come back.
I know, but I saw this conspiracy video on Instagram, one of those ones where they do like all the cuts of
Yeah,
like this scene, like, and then like
I
the,
can't stand that shit.
but it was like the one, and then the space shuttle takes off, and there's four capsules on like a tether line, and they all go down like this as the rocket ship takes off. I was like, oh, they must have let the people escape. And then I Googled it. I did like some research, and apparently those are there in case of an emergency, but they have to let them down anyways, or else they'll
Yeah,
get like burned and stuff, the boxes.
yeah. Huh, interesting. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's everything is a conspiracy if you're, like, not very educated, so I don't really go for conspiracies a lot.
They're going to the backside of the moon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how they're coming back. They're using the pull of the gravity of it to be able to, like, do a small correction. In dude, if you think about the plane, like,
They should be live.
they actually have been falling back to Earth since they left the atmosphere.
They should be live streaming on Netflix right now. Actually, they're live streaming on Netflix today.
Really?
Yeah,
I
Artemis.
don't have Netflix.
It started at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I don't have Netflix.
I saw this one Instagram post. It was funny, but he's sitting in his car. He's like, why are you guys going to the dark side of the moon? Like, what business do we have back there? He's like, it's you guys are you spending all this money on jet fuel, and people can't even afford gas out here, and you guys are going to the dark side of the moon. Like, what is going on here?
I'd rather they do that than blow up random countries and get into
Well,
wars for other countries.
yeah, those are. Well, I seen Iran was building a massive data center, right? They were going to build one of the biggest data centers in the world. They had a deal with NVIDIA, OpenAI, a bunch of people. They were going to build one of the biggest mega centers. So maybe there's a correlation there.
There's a lot of correlations there. Yeah.
Yeah. And every Sunday, Trump will be like, "Yeah, we came to a deal with Iran."
Yeah, and then homeboy is like, "Nope."
Yeah, it's because
And it's
that's
not like
the
he's the most honest person on earth either, so you don't even
before the
know.
open. It's right. He does that every Sunday, right before the opening of the exchanges. What do I know? I don't know anything about politics, to be honest. I just watch the few things I see. If anything, I watch. The only person I watch for politics is Tim Dillon. Do you watch his stuff? God, it's hilarious. It's very comical. All right, my man. Well, anything else? Anything else we should chat about? How's your community doing? Growing?
Dude, yeah, it's growing. It's awesome. I'm very happy about it, very excited about it.
Nice. You
Working
did a
on
bunch
some
of lectures on there too recently, right?
Yeah, I did a lecture on anadrol and appetite and trenbolone and sleep. And I posted like 20 more compounds in the library, like lectures
Thanks.
on each compound. And this
Nice.
week I'm releasing a course on protocol design, on like how to structure a protocol, how to make your own protocol and like stuff like that. And then utilizing my own like logic and explain like how I run my own and how I create my own and like here's how you can create your own and why it's a bad idea to copy someone else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not a great idea to copy somebody else's
Yeah.
for anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't be a copycat.
Yeah.
You're an individual for a reason.
Yep. Yep.
Do your thing.
You'll thank homie.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. It's good to see things are turning up a bit, but things are freaking crazy for me. Crazy busy. It's always good. It's always nice to, see people
Chillax.
improving. Yeah, I got my cats. Look at
Yeah.
he's sleeping. What's up, baby? Yeah, I'm here. He's so cute.
My cat would bite the shit out of me if I did that.
Oh, he's a little baby. He's only like a year old. He's a sweetie. All right, my man. Well, I appreciate having you on and appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been a while. I know podcasts have been slow, but I do have a bunch of guests coming on in the near future. So you're just going to have to hold tight. I got big old Dom Cardone coming on for any of you bodybuilding fans. That'll be a good one to listen to. So yeah, thanks for everybody coming out. Thanks, Nathan, for popping on again today. It's always nice to have a good chat with you. I'm sure he will be back, y'all, so hopefully you enjoy him. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want to hit up Nathan, As always, I'll leave his socials and DM handle, his contact information in the summary. So, or you can hit me up in the DMs and I'll shoot you over to him. So appreciate y'all and have yourselves a great day.